Good morning and welcome to the market forecast. It's Friday, March 29th. I'm John Hoagland. Thanks for trusting me with your time. I've missed you all for the last couple of days. I was off last Thursday and Friday. Thanks to Dan Hodgman for covering for me. Hopefully, you had a good couple of trading days. We're going to have a short week this week. No trading on Good Friday. This Friday, Good Friday holiday. So markets will be closed. We've got 4 days with which to achieve our goals. And those goals should be really to stay in your process. Try not to put any time based or financial based goals in your way. It tends to make me trade outside my strategy. And part of the strategy that we're all looking for, and the way that we're going to find consistency in the market, is to find a consistent lens to look at the marketplace, always through context, always thinking about risk management. It's good to see everybody again. As far as economic news is concerned, no major numbers due out today. Just kind of looking forward to the week ahead. Um, Tomorrow we've got Case-Shiller home prices, FHFA home price index at 8 a.m. Central, right as we're beginning the market forecast. And then, of course, consumer confidence at 9 o'clock Central Time. A couple of talking Feds tomorrow. Wednesday, we've got ADP employment or unemployment, ADP employment report, I should say, Chicago PMI, of course, petroleum status report at 9:30 Central. Thursday, jobless claims as usual, PMI manufacturing final, ISM manufacturing index, construction spending, and of course the EIA natural gas inventories due out on Thursday. And then, of course, no trading on Friday, but it still says here we are going to have the unemployment numbers due out 7:30 on Friday. So might be an interesting weekend if those numbers do come out a little bit askew from what they are thinking. So over the weekend, I saw they had a nice backhoe out trying to that ship that's blocking Suez Canal. From what I understand this morning, they're about 80% done, hopefully getting that ship out of the way. Uh, Maybe a little bit closer to the global disruption uh, in transportation. There, cruise on the news last night looks like little dive to the downside, but they've since recovered that. There's a couple of major banks that are in the process. Swiss and Nomura are writing down losses from a hedge fund requirement on Friday. There are a couple other banks that are going to be under eye today. That's Goldman Sachs and watch today, because apparently they were involving that fund, or at least related to that fund. COVID. Uh, I'm frozen. I'm frozen. Let's see what's going on here. Looks a little bit crazy here. I'm why I'm having. Hello. Maybe back now. Yeah, I think I am back. There we go. All right. Yeah, I know. It's not one thing, it's another. I've got the charts nice and stable here, but having a little bit of trouble. All right, well, I'm just going to press on here. So far, so good. Looks like we're back on. I don't know what that was all about. Maybe a little bit of an internet issue at the office here. We were just kind of talking about how just going to say about how COVID spikes in Europe, South America, and India are threatening lockdowns, and of course, economic fallout from that. So things to be looking for as far as the news is concerned. Yeah, it's kind of strange to know what's going on, but it looks like we're back. We're in good shape. Make sure you like, share, comment, question, feedback, and heckling are, of course, welcome, especially today. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified when we do go live. Hopefully, that'll be nice and solid. I'm going to put in the link for the group coaching here for Wednesday. We've fixed the problem. There was a bad URL on one of the website paths to get to group coaching. We fixed that. Looking forward to seeing everyone there. And as always, I'd like to say good morning to everybody. Level 2, yes, status here. Yes, you beat Felix to the room. You want your prize. To me, you all deserve a prize. Absolutely. You're all winners in our book here. Ralph, good morning. Felix, good to see you. Jason, Murph, love the battle for the top spot. It is fun to see who's the first one to get in there for us here. Back in the saddle for another day of trading. Yes, only 4 days this week. Remember, don't forget also, if you are trading gold, you should be moving on to the June contract. Go right past that May contract to the June contract. If you're still trading April, it's okay. But just by tomorrow, I think you will be noticing that there will be far less liquidity and volume in the April contract. Just shoot over to May. James, good morning. Rick, good morning, my brother. Brian, Shady Trader. D. McGregor, good morning. Troy, good morning. Wild B, welcome. Will, Joseph, Vicky, Maganis, the chef is here. Murph, Friday. Yes, no trading on Friday. Yes, I had to had to restart. I do apologize. I think we've got things going smoothly. We're going to head to the charts here very shortly. Patrick, George, Ashton, John, Keith, good morning. Rob, what up? Good to see you, Mr. Crust. I don't know if I'm looking kind of rough, but the feed here this morning was a little bit rough. Laura, good morning. Trading Research, Wild Bee, Vicky again. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. I do have some gremlins around here from time to time. Shady D Tactic, good to see you, Mason. Yeah, it was a latent feed there, a little problem. Trading Research, Profity on Rick, Gremlins, yes, they are back, but hopefully we've got them taken care of. Keith, good morning. Magnet Man. Sean, Emma, hello from London. Angelina, Vicky. Yeah, I know I got to get my brother Rick needs to bring a shotgun down here and get these gremlins. LT, all right, good. Laura, Ben, good to see you, Ben. Angelina, Sean. All good now. Good. Bill. The trophy will do just fine. 4 days of big money. Let's go. Absolutely. Wild B and Chris. Okay, finally, let's move on to the charts here. And it is Monday. I do tend to try and start things a little bit slow, at least for myself. I know Mondays are usually not my best trading days. Some interesting things in our equities early this morning, and just some markets kind of close to areas of changes of possible short time frame market state. Let's go ahead and jump and take a look right now. Okay, so as always, we look at the daily and crude first, just going from left to right. We had 5 days of indecision here, really just down, up, down, up, down. What are we doing today? Well, we're up near last week's high over here, which is about 62.04. I believe that because of this situation here, we're largely in short time frame control, which leads me to believe that shorter time frame and levels are going to be more likely to be respected. So looking at the volume on Friday, pretty quiet. Lost 2,600 in open interest. Maybe a little bit of a consolidation area kind of getting set up here with that loss of open interest. We've had a lot of open interest since back here, really piling into this market. Maybe seeing a little bit of it coming off here on Friday. Take a look at the 30, just opening up here in about 12 minutes ago. opening without a gap, no real overnight inventory, but this kind of upper extreme here, this last week's high, kind of holding now. So when we're in range trade, we can kind of look at we can kind of look at the extremes of that range. We were just mentioning, last week's high was right up here, got pretty close to it. We've rejected. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to kind of do a little random walk between that high and perhaps weekly kickoff low, which is this week 58.25. Settlement here is 60.97. Put that on your charts. The market kind of opening and rambling right through the value area from Friday, which was relatively small. A small part of a much bigger range. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to watch overnight low. I'm going to watch the extreme here. I'm going to watch weekly kickoff low. And until something really sticks out to me, I'm going to probably be laying off the crude oil, at least until there's some sort of structure or something I can lean on. The high from overnight, pretty decent, 62.04 again, last week's high. This looks like a kind of a target-rich environment. If we're going to stay range-bound, to the downside, I'm going to be looking at weekly kickoff low as an important level of inflection, if you will. Between there, I'm going to really be waiting and looking for possibly some short time frame levels with which to hold. But again, because we've opened no gap, we've rejected the prices higher. I might start looking for opportunities to sell strength in the day time frame today. Because of that, it appears that we've opened and left the opening range at the high of the session. That's usually going to kind of keep me looking for shorts throughout the day until something changes. So I'm going to, if you're not already in this move to the downside, I'm going to suggest trying to stay patient. Let the first hour kind of establish itself, and then work those extremes for your opportunities. Hello, Roger, Chris, Jacob. Glad to see you. Welcome to the forecast. S&Ps now. So, obviously, our upside structure is still remaining. We're still putting in higher highs. We're still putting in higher lows. A pretty good upside move on Friday, and this is going to be something we're going to talk about on the 30-minute chart. The volume on an up day was pretty decent, and we also added 30,000 in open interest. So we had some money coming into the long side here on Friday. This was not a short covering rally. This is that increase in open interest is indicating that we had some money come into the long side on Friday. Keep that in mind as we go along. There's lots of things to be looking at below market and above market. We've got our pit session high. We've got our overnight all-time high above. There's also some weaknesses down below. Headline risks are abound today, if you will. We've got that hedge fund that couldn't meet margin Friday, and it's already affected some banks. And again, we're going to be keeping an eye on Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley today because they may be somehow involved in that as well. Time will tell. So basically, from our high to our kind of low of balance here, we're going to be looking at shorter time frame levels with which to execute unless something changes, and that is always entirely possible. Whoop, that's not what we want. We want the 30. That's the profile. So settlement is all the way up here, 39.6475. We're going to be holding some overnight shorts because of that. But what I find most interesting and probably a decent opportunity for us today is the fact that Friday we put this big late spike to the upside. We just screamed to the upside. Remember, again, settlement 39.6475. We've been kind of coming off there. We're holding value. We're holding above value from Friday. If we open in this late spike, it's going to be kind of marking acceptance of higher price. The base of the late spike is about here, 39.34. So this might end up being a pretty decent support level if we are going to hold the base of the late spike. Anything can and will happen. When we open in a late spike like this, it's just a probability that states the market is accepting the advertisement of higher prices. Keep that in mind as you go through your day today. Do we have some overnight shorts? Possibly. Possibly. So the most important kind of nuance for me in the S&Ps and in the NASDAQ this morning is the fact that we closed in that late spike on Friday, and we have not rejected that late spike yet. We've not rejected that late spike, at least not yet. So our overnight low to the base of the late spike, very interesting area for a possible execution if given the chance today. The NASDAQ. Consolidation, balance, whatever you want to call this. This is a different market than the S&Ps. Similar, but different. Are we starting to gain some energy through some coiling activities here? If we were to put a trend line here and a trend line off the high, it would appear that we are starting to kind of put together a symmetrical or semi-symmetrical triangle, and when we get close to the end of that triangle, we may see some more fireworks coming along. I'm just going to slap this up here briefly here so we can kind of see what I'm looking at, and then we'll go from the high. So there's the symmetrical triangle. We're getting pretty close to the apex. When we leave that apex, it might provide a bigger opportunity. What happened in open interest and volume? Well, yes, we had pretty decent volume for an up day. We added 1,100 in open interest, not tremendous, but still telling us that we had some buyers come into this market on Friday. Looking at the 30-minute chart, settlement all the way up here, 12,966.75. Not really holding any overnight inventory, but again, we have the late spike situation. Now, last night we looked a little bit deeper through the base of the late spike, kind of putting us near point of control to the overnight low for a kind of an important level for an execution. But remember, this late spike bottom is right here around 12,870, 871. This might be an interesting area for an execution as well. At the very least, it gives us an opportunity to limit the risk, and that's what our real job is. Real job first, limit risk. Limit risk, limit risk, limit risk. So we're going to open in that late spike. That tells us that the market is accepting the advertisement of price at higher levels, starting to look for some opportunities on weaknesses. Might just be the play today. We never know. Anything can and will happen, especially in the situation where we have possible headline risks as far as that hedge fund today. Gold. Balance. You could say that. Short time frame control for sure. Losing 5,900 in open interest on Friday kind of tells us we're kind of running out of steam here. We are in a rollover. That's going to be part of it. A lot of our longer term gold traders are going to be working on getting a cheap rollover before kind of becoming directional. Last week's low, 1722.50, right there. When we took a look there, we actually have an inside day and an inside day from Friday to today in extended trading hours. Not a lot going on here. At least not yet. That can change in a heartbeat as usual. Take a look at the 30-minute chart. Settlements up here, 1732.30. We've got some overnight inventory. We've had an opportunity to look at last week's low, and our overnight low, overnight low is here. Here's last week's low, actually down to 1721.40, I think, is the low here from last week. So Very interesting spot down here. Just an interesting area for an execution. Again, because we can limit our risk and we kind of can assume that we have our shorter time frame competitors, the weaker hands traders holding shorts from last night. If we can't take out this low, if we don't bring in new business to the downside, then it makes sense that the market could kind of pull us back towards settlement. Those lows and the current low, it's interesting. Those are interesting spots to me. Jason saying here, per CNBC, the Suez Canal is back open for business. They finally used the backhoe and got that thing cleared out, apparently. We're still following downside structure in the euro here. Volume and open interest are kind of falling off at lows here. We lost 600 on Friday. We lost some volume on Friday. Kind of holding the week low from last week as our overnight low. Take a look at the 30. If there was any overnight inventory, it's been reconciled. Inside Friday's area of balance or value, going to stay patient. Going to stay patient in this market. It's not on the back burner, but maybe on one of the side burners right now. And as for the 10-year, by the way, I don't think I mentioned with the problems this morning, VIX was up almost 8% this morning when I looked. 2036, the dollar index about flat, 92.77, and the 10-year yield was down a little bit at 1.65. So now back to the 10-year. Downside structure has fallen into balance. We can see we've put in highs, we've put in lows. We're kind of bouncing back and forth between them, and we're centrally located between weekly kickoff high and weekly kickoff low. I'm going to call this falling into short time frame control, short time frame balance, short time frame control. Take a look at the 30. Okay, settlement down here, 132 and 24 seconds. The market really inside the extended trading hours, and from last week, here's the last week's low, and here's our low from today, here's our high inside extended trading hours as well as regular trading hours. Just not a lot to do here, I'm seeing. I'm going to be very patient again. We are in value. We are in balance in medium time frame, short time frame balance inside value. I'm going to be looking to stay patient today. I'll watch if we get an opportunity near our overnight low and last week's low. I'll take a look at the overnight high as it is the extreme from the regular trading hours on Friday. But anything in the middle, I just find that there's going to be more risk involved, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to make sure that a trade comes to me in anything I'm doing today, most particularly in the euro and in the 10-year. Okay, so I was so excited this morning. I was going to have a very nice broadcast, and we weren't going to have any problems. I had the charts all nice and solid, and then the internet does something. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. We got about 3 to 4 minutes before the equity open. I hope you'll take your deep breath with me. Stay calm, stay humble, grateful, and creative in your trading today. I will be looking forward to group coaching this Wednesday. Shady, I see you emailed a couple of questions for group coaching. Excellent. You are more than welcome to do that. When you sign up, you get my email. You can send me questions, help me get set up for them. Nobody knows everything. I know I certainly don't. It's one of the things I love about group coaching is I learn more from you guys than you probably learned from me. I know I've been at this for a long time, but there's always more to learn. So looking forward to seeing Dan again today for the market recap at 3 o'clock. I think that's it. I'm going to just kind of bow out here and say, get out there and profit. Have a great trading day. We'll see you later. Sorry about the issues this morning. Have a great day.